Whether you are a restaurant entrepreneur looking for a bank loan, investors or partners to help your dream come true, or perhaps you're an architect or interior designer commissioned with the job of designing a restaurant, you would need a tool to help you communicate your vision and your ideas to the rest of the world. And this tool is called a restaurant concept document. In this video series, I'm going to be telling you what the key elements of a successful restaurant concept document is, and we're going to be going step by step over how to craft your own. Today is a really big one, so I'm super excited. Today we're going to be talking about target market, how to identify your target market, how to segment them, and how to really speak to them with a great offering that makes sense for their needs and wants. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's do this. Target market. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this one. It is such a key part of any restaurant concept, and it's probably the part that most inexperienced entrepreneurs get wrong. So I'm very excited to talk to you guys about it today. Just a little bit about me. My name is Laura, and I am a restaurant and hospitality expert. I have been working with many brands between Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Asia. I have 11 hotel and restaurant openings behind me, so I'm really familiar with concept documents and kind of building strong brands and concepts. So I'm very excited for sharing this video series with you guys. So who is this video for? Well, this video, as I said, is for entrepreneurs looking to open their own business, maybe investors who are looking into getting a little more involved, and also architects and designers working on new restaurant concepts, and also I always say that I think this could be very helpful as well for people within operations, as it can really help them refine the restaurant concept and therefore gain a lot of operational optimization. A restaurant concept document has many elements, and in the previous videos we have already talked about the executive summary and a restaurant concept statement. Very key parts of the restaurant concept document, and if you haven't seen them already, go check them out and then come back, because there are a lot of little bits and bobs in there about target market. So I always recommend just go from top to bottom. So go see those two if you haven't. So what is a target market? Essentially, a target market is a group of consumers that can be combined into one particular group. They share similar characteristics and behaviors, and it is essentially the audience with which you will be presenting or like selling your product and services to. In this case, this is the core clientele or core desired clientele for your restaurant. It is an extremely critical element for developing a restaurant concept. As I said, a lot of young entrepreneurs get this part really wrong, and therefore they either end up targeting the wrong market with their offering, or having the right market but then ending up kind of giving them the wrong type of product. So essentially understanding your key target market or your key customers would really help you essentially tailor your offerings, both products and services, in order to make sure that you really hit the mark on the needs and preferences of this target market, and therefore have a successful and a profitable business. So understanding your target market is really significant, and it's a really make or break for the success of your restaurant venture. Understanding your target market's preferences and behaviors essentially will allow you, as we said, to tailor your offerings and make sure that you give them a very coherent and very well targeted to their needs and expectations dining experience. By defining well your target market, it will help you to market and promote your restaurant in a way that you attract the right customers that fit your restaurant concept. And of course, then further foster customer loyalty, and of course, ultimately drive your business growth. Why it is so important, and I know I keep saying that it's so important that you understand your target market. It is so important that I have put 2 question marks on the question. So, joke aside, a well-defined target market is really the foundation of a successful restaurant. I can't keep repeating this enough, but essentially, understanding your market will allow you to kind of well design and really refine your products and services too. And when those two meet, then you have something that is referred to as product market fit, meaning that the product fits the desired market and the target market responds well to the product, and those fit together. And when you achieve this, then you truly have a successful concept. Therefore, I can't stress any more than this to say that understanding and defining well and spending the time to think about, research, and define your target market is really, really foundational for creating a successful business. By understanding your customers, as we said, you can fit that product, you can tailor your offerings, you can tailor your marketing strategy. You can kind of tailor the overall service and dining experience, the overall ambience that you're trying to create. And all of this will ultimately attract also the right clientele. So again, talking about kind of fitting the product and services and the market and making them really click together. And this is where, money really comes in. It is also important to remember that your target market constantly evolves. While you can have your core target market kind of a little more static and not changing over time, as you develop your business, as you continue running your business, you will probably be expanding your market or your target market a little bit. Therefore, just remember that it is something that constantly evolves and changes. So don't think that if you have defined your target market initially, you're done and you never have to do it again, because it is definitely something that keeps growing and evolving as does your business. So how to identify your ideal customers? There are a few ways you can think about this. And again, depending on your establishment, these could vary, but in general, we're talking about demographics, which is our age, gender, income level, occupation, and some lifestyle factors. We also have psychographics, meaning the interests and hobbies, perhaps values, attitude, motivations, dining preferences, and of course you have your behavioral patterns. How often do they eat? What kind of choices did they make when it comes to their meals? How do they spend their money? Do they participate in loyalty programs, etc.? If you can get any information about their online behavior, even better, because a lot of the marketing these days is on the line, as they said. So it is also important to understand that. I don't want to get into too much details because this is a long presentation and I don't want this video to be too long. But some examples of that could be perhaps if you know that your customers are like very, very fuss-free younger people perhaps, and just want to focus on fresh ingredients, perhaps casual dining would be better than a kind of heavy service dining. If you know that it is very, very important for them that, the environment, perhaps environmentally friendly packaging for your takeaways would be important and interesting to add. In terms of spending habits, if you know that most of your customers pay with card rather than cash, you definitely need a POS terminal, etc. So, getting some of those things down will definitely help you shape your offering later on. Ways that you can segment your market, of course, as you said, again, it will vary depending on the type of establishment you have, but you can have geographic segmentation. This is kind of important, and understanding the geography around or like the location, so to say, of your establishment, meaning is it going to be the kind of inner city, is it a neighborhood place, or basically understanding the location and trying to kind of segment people based on where your restaurant is located. Demographic segmentation, as we said, is kind of dividing your customers in different buckets based on their income level, perhaps age and gender. It could make sense for your establishment or maybe not so much. Again, depend on what kind of concept you are running. Psychographic segmentation, though, are something that is almost always very, very helpful when segmenting your target market, as values and lifestyle is super important for restaurant concepts. Therefore, psychographic segmentation is definitely a very good way of kind of helping you put the different type of customers you have in different buckets. Behavioral segmentation, if you can get information on your customers' dining habits and meal choices and spending patterns, behavioral segmentation is probably the most powerful way for you to segment your clientele. However, it is a little bit harder to acquire in terms of information, but it's definitely worth kind of researching and trying to define, because it's probably one of the best ways to segment, even though it is a little hard to kind of get the information and understand your target market behavior. How can you understand your target market? How can you kind of get all this information? Of course, start by conducting a market research. Utilize surveys, maybe focus groups, try to research online, gather some data, insights, perhaps even talk to future competition. So that could mean to you maybe hand some surveys or talk to people or conduct short interviews, hang around, look around the area where you're planning to open your restaurant, try to see what type of people they are, maybe talk to businesses in the area and just talk a little bit about kind of the general business landscape, etc. If you are opening just a new outlet for an existing concept, or you're looking into franchising your existing concept, analyzing your existing customer data is a great place to start. So if you already have a business, or you're like to optimize the concept of your business, then kind of analyzing data from your POS system or your sales system or wherever you kind of record your sales is a good place to start. Looking into the loyalty program that you have, and if you don't have now one, consider adding one. Like ask your customers for feedback, perhaps they're like online reviews of your restaurants and so on, and just observe your customers and try to kind of really get if there are any trends, any patterns, and honestly, if you are trying to optimize something or replicate something, starting inside is always the best place to start. So analyze your existing customer data if you have already an existing outlet. It is super important to also engage with potential customers. So if you kind of already have an idea of what your target market could be, a further way of understanding them would be to connect with them over social media. That could be perhaps setting up a social account for your restaurant even before it's open, and try to kind of attract and target and get a conversation started with your ideal potential customers. Maybe you can set up email campaigns of getting interest. Perhaps you can look into in-person interactions. As we said, if you are researching the area around where you're going to be building your restaurant, you can definitely try to connect with some people in the area and try to understand their motivations, their ideas perhaps, and so on. So again, in-person interactions always give us a very, very valuable feedback, and also they have this instantaneous kind of dynamic discussion style that can really help us to the bottom of some more complicated questions. So in-person research is always a great way for understanding your target market. And once when you understand your target market, what you would do, as we said, product, market, fit. So once when we understand our market, then we have to tailor our product in a way that they can fit very, very well together. And when you tailor your offerings, you definitely have to think of how to create a menu that really aligns with the preferences and again, dietary restrictions perhaps, but kind of needs and expectations of your clientele. Pricing, of course, as you understand their spending habits and perhaps their income or how much they are prepared to spend for the product that you offer, then you can, by understanding your target market, you can set a very competitive pricing and make sure that you really provide value for the price that you're charging. So kind of tailoring your pricing to your market is extremely important. That is also goes for the service style. Again, understanding your the expectation of your target market will help you really tailor the service style and develop a style that kind of makes sense for both for the concept and the product and services that you're offering, but also for the needs and expectations of your market. So again, as we said, by understanding the market, we can kind of tailor the product and make them fit. And as they say, when you align product and market and you make them fit, then like money really starts flowing into the operation. So this is definitely something to reflect deep on. Marketing strategy. There are many marketing strategies, and again, that will very much depends on the market, but also the type of establishment you're building and the concept that you're trying to build. But of course, that will be target advertising. Social media is king. As I said, it definitely makes sense to see and explore the idea of opening and setting up social media accounts for your business even before it is created and built. So definitely online ads and social media are a huge part of restaurant advertising. A good idea is also to consider, if you do have a location and you know where your establishment is going to be located, it is definitely worth, even in the age of digital that we live in, it makes sense to consider having some local media, perhaps a local newspaper that can really help you kind of directly and more focusedly target the actual area in which your establishment will essentially be located. Try to participate in local events. As we said, just integrating within the community would totally make sense. It will help you understand your market, and you can also engage with the community and make yourself known. I always recommend that you connect with a competition. Very often there are complementary businesses in the area that are not direct competition to you. And I think it is totally worth it connecting with them. They can provide you with a very valuable information of kind of what is the landscape in the area, how does business go. They can give you ideas on how customers behave, even if they are not a restaurant themselves. So kind of connecting with local businesses is definitely a great marketing strategy and can yield a ton of results. I'm a big fan of customer loyalty programs. Especially for new businesses. This can be a very, very good way for creating habit within your customers and kind of trying to, so to say, get them used to coming over and over again to your establishment. So a loyalty program that rewards their repeat business is a really great idea, especially for new coming places. Again, there are other marketing strategies, but I think that kind of hitting the online and the local engaging with communities and thinking of like once when customers come for the first time to your establishment, of how to kind of foster this relationship and really offer them a good reward for keep coming back is a very, very good starting package for your marketing strategies. And just a few tips that I wanted to share with you. Start with broad understanding of your industry and local market trends. You can always refine this, so don't worry if your understanding is too broad at the beginning. You can always refine it, but kind of try to describe the general market and then kind of keep look into how to shed ambiguities as you go around and kind of really polish and concise and synthesize a core target market. So it is totally okay if you start broad, because you will be, as you kind of go along and you keep challenging some assumptions and kind of answering more questions within your market research, you will refine this. So don't worry about starting broad. Number two, gather as much as information as possible. Honestly, don't shy away. Whatever you think you need to, in terms of times and effort that you need to spend on kind of understanding your market, honestly, triple this at least, if not 5x it. Honestly, people don't spend nearly enough time and effort understanding their customers, and this is truly the one key thing that really breaks so many businesses with extreme potential, because again, they do struggle at the first few months of their opening to really kind of get this, as we said, product market fit. And this usually comes from lack of understanding of their target market, which usually comes way before the restaurant is actually built. So don't don't incapacitate your business idea, and really spend the time to understand your market. As we said, use segmentation techniques that make sense for your target market. This will help you essentially make a decision on how you want to separate the different type of clientele you have in different buckets. And once when you have them in those like little buckets and you understand the general needs and expectations of your market, then you can start tailoring those products and services to them, as we talked earlier. Make sure you validate your assumptions. Super important. Very often we make assumptions. We think that something is the way we think it is, but we never actually go and validate these assumptions. So figure out how can you, if you have any questions or if you have kind of expectations or ideas, ask yourself, do I really know this? Am I 100% sure that this is the case, or do I just think this is the case? And if you just think and you don't have like solid proof that this is the the truth, then you have to go and validate it, because it is an assumption. So by using a lot of different research techniques, you can go and really validate those assumptions, but don't let them stay as assumptions, because building a concept, marketing strategy, financial projections on assumptions is a very, very dangerous thing to do. And as we said, very often it really bites you back and could be really the demise of your business. So don't build your business on assumptions. Go and validate them. And lastly, just remember, as we said earlier, your target market is not static. As your business evolves throughout the time, the group that you target and you service will change as well. So even if you have once really evaluated and understood your target market, you have to continuously monitor and adjust your target market definition over time, and really consider how can you constantly also tailor your offering to really satisfy their needs and probably at least meet, but ideally exceed their expectations. As we talked about the whole product market fit thing, it is not a one-time click and they always stay. As we said, as the market changes, the product should change. And as the product evolves, maybe the market will change a little bit. And these two are very dynamic. the market often is more dynamic, but that's a different topic. So as your business evolves, as your product evolves, and as your market evolves, they might kind of grow a little bit apart, but then it's your job to kind of go back and make sure that they fit and they make sense. And again, this is definitely something that is not a static entity, and it constantly evolves over time as market conditions change, and as well product and the business will change over time as well. So just keep understanding, keep focusing on your market, keep focusing on your customers and understanding them so you can best serve them, so you can build a really profitable business. And as I mentioned, I really want to help you guys build really successful restaurant concepts. Therefore, I will be helping a few of you by reviewing your restaurant concept document. So if you would like me to have a look at yours, no matter if you're just starting or you're at the end and you just want to refine your ideas, you can email me a PDF version of your restaurant concept with the title free review, and I will be reviewing the first 5 submissions for free. I hope you guys enjoy this video series, and if you do, remember to like and subscribe. It means a lot to the channel and it really helps and motivates me to continue making these videos for you. As always, if you have any questions, you can put them in the comments below or email me in private, and we can take the discussion from there. Thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.